Hey guys, good morning. Good morning. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of Gar Capital. I apologize for running about 3 minutes late, team. My TOS completely froze on me. This is the TOS, Thinkorswim platform. So now it is ready to go. I'm glad that I got a chance to reboot it. It's been having some issues lately. Interesting on the maybe there's an update or something I'm missing, but I'll take a look at it this weekend. Quick housekeeping for the weekend. If you are part of the market blog, it's scrolling on the bottom. How to join it? Podcast this week. It's going to be a good one. If you remember this last weekend's podcast about the pullback I was expecting, it looked good on Tuesday until NVIDIA reported. But again, I'm going to have my thoughts and my notes. So again, if you're more of the morning note person, you like the blog, for example, and you kind of want a little more of a dive to certain subject regarding the stock market, economics, the Fed, we'll dash in a little politics here and there. That'll be on the weekly podcast. Again, if you do want to be a listener of the podcast, we're on Spotify. It used to be the Anchor app. That's what I used to for podcasts. They were bought by Spotify. So bullish Spotify, right? Spotify, look up G.A.R, GAR, cap. That's our podcast. Anyways, let's get rocking and rolling this morning. All right, here we are. Dow futures up 75 points. Nasdaq's up 36. The S&P is up 0.23%. NVIDIA basically saved the world, right? NVIDIA's up 802. It's up to $802 a share. Boy, man, what a move. What more can you say about this company? The stock price is not even catching up to the revenue growth, which is pretty crazy. So, in a weird way, NVIDIA actually got cheaper when they reported earnings because their earnings growth was so accelerated relative to the stock price. Keep in mind some of the levels that were key here. 750 was the break. That was the all-time high. We're about $52 above it at the moment. So the expectation now is how high can we go? At this point, NVIDIA is almost their own economy. They're going to add points to the GDP. And I made a note of this on the blog as well, that the stronger NVIDIA goes, since they're so interconnected with so many companies providing those chips, we got to understand how important they are to the economy itself. In a weird way, I'm getting that kind of feeling that NVIDIA might be the reason, not only just to the technology growth itself, but to the equity growth itself, since it's so intertwined with ETFs and now, being the biggest gainer in the S&P. Again, this is now what, the third largest company on earth in terms of market cap, just behind Microsoft and Apple. They're a big part of the system now. We saw this with Tesla when they got on top, when they got in the S&P. If you guys remember that, I believe that was in 2020, or it was in 2020. That's when Tesla was added to the S&P, and that was a big deal. Then we had stock splits and such and such. With that being said, could NVIDIA be a catalyst where the Fed cannot cut because they're just too strong and we're getting into a new cycle of tech? This is kind of interesting. This is kind of like the dot-com bubble, but we don't have a bubble. Obviously, it hasn't burst or anything. Or this could be 1995 with cell phones. So the idea is to see every day what changes. But again, NVIDIA, buying here, guys, if you really want to buy here fair, I can understand you think it's cheap. I think the best bet is just a dollar cost average it. Me personally, again, I would prefer a nice discount. I'm an NVIDIA shareholder anyways. So again, if you're someone that's never owned it, okay, fair. You really want to get some skin in the game, go for it. I just wouldn't go all in. And again, not because I don't believe in NVIDIA. It's just that we've already had such a large move. Yes, one day, I don't know when, right? One day we'll get some kind of discount or pullback. I just don't know when that day is, but it ain't happening today or right now anyways. A couple of trades I have open now. Here is one of the pain trades of the week, AMD calls. And I want to go and break this down. I'll go over it on the video this weekend. 180 was the breakout level. We got faked out on Friday. That's where we got in the 185 calls. We survived Tuesday. We survived Wednesday. Thank you, Lord, for NVIDIA. We are now nearly in the money. We need to get above 185 today, guys. It was a tough hold, as you know, just basically took the scenic route here. But if we zoom out, we can see that we're back above this breakout point and back above this trend line. So all we're looking for is 185 to break. And you're at all-time highs, team. and NVIDIA might take us there. So sorry it was a hold. I promise. I didn't do this on purpose. So to drive everyone crazy. We just got faked out on Friday and then made us wait the long route. I really believe that by today we can get to 190. NVIDIA could get to 850, 900 today. We don't know. This is why we're here. See what happens. Good morning. Good morning. I have a $70 call. $70 call on what? I don't know what exactly. Let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla, I have been saying that, hey, time to short and everything like that. We did short it this week, but Tesla is now above the 20-day. Just want to let you guys know it's above the 20-day. First time we've been above the 20-day since the 15th, and then we wick below. So again, volatility is still rather there. But let's go to the hourly, and you can see here, beautiful trend line break. Now, we've had this with Palantir before, where we had the trend line break and then we just chopped. The only major catalyst to me with that break, that wedge breakout, is this gap fill that we never filled. And we've been talking about that for a minute. 206.73. That's what we're looking for. If we can get there, 206.73, and sustain a little bit, I think that's probably where we're taking a look at possibly adding some more shares of Tesla here. And again, it is underperforming, but above the 20 is a good thing. That would be a great first step. The 200-day is 223 or 233. So we got a little road to go. And keep in mind, in the big picture, we're trading microscopic moves, guys. We're talking about weekly, 2-weekly moves. So the trend, at least on the 1 hour, which is 20 days, right, pretty much in line of what we're looking for in terms of timing. The daily does give us a nice little path higher because of that gap fill. But again, it's really this wedge breakout that we got. It just, all of this is overnight, guys. So Thursday, we had the break, pulled back a little bit into the close, and all of this is just chop. So if we can get above 198, 199 today, we should be able to get those Tesla calls and move on, and we'll leave a runner. In terms of the target, we know what it is. It is 206. That is your gap fill. Okay. Let's take a look at Square. Square is up pre-market. What is it? 79.65 now. Good guidance, but you still need a little more. We need to get above 81.40, and that would break a possible triple top. Right now, we're setting up for a shorter term double top from basically this year. If we go to the daily, we're really still in range, guys. Got to get above 81.41. Looks good. It's nice bounce. It could be setting up for an inverse head and shoulders, but 90 will be the key, guys. If we can get above 90, then we can start targeting 149. So Square needs to be on your radar, but we just ain't there yet. Meta calls above 490. Jeff is one of our masterclass members. We traded Meta together, me and Jeff, and the masterclass for those Meta calls, and we took them. I believe it was the 500s. You could see the 490s, 490 level where we are in Tesla. I mean, you're getting a push higher. Absolutely, equity markets are pushing higher. Thank you to, of course, NVIDIA. Now the question is 500. I mean, we're already at all-time highs. I mean, is 500 going to be kind of a volume shelf, possible supply zone? Maybe. We just have to see how we open. To me, it looks like NASDAQ is ready to rock. So I was having a discussion with Nick regarding futures. Let's go ahead and wait for 18,130. I mean, Nick was hitting NASDAQ longs yesterday all day. So shout out to the futures team. But one more break of 121. And granted, guys, I was bearish this week. Man, was I wrong. And that's okay. I've never been happier being wrong before. Stock prices go higher. Yeah, I'll be wrong a lot. That's okay. 18.5. That's what we're looking for your next target. Again, guys, look how structured this looks in terms of the NASDAQ. And again, look how perfect it's been really since when, let's see, this is November. November has been just perfect. The idea is, hey, is it going to break higher or are we going to break lower? That's really the coin flip that we're waiting for. So can't fight the tape, guys. NASDAQ is bullish, even though I was thinking that we would get some kind of pullback. NVIDIA being, catalyst of high expectations. Nope. Basically trying to count pennies in front of an oncoming train. Not the easiest thing to do, obviously. But that's where we are this morning. My eyes definitely are on AMD. I think we get it today. I think a lot of people are going to be like, damn, you just got to wait. You just got to wait. Timing wasn't the best. I apologize. But if we get it today, that's all I want. I just want everyone to profit on every single thing that we talk about and do, because this channel and this group is for you guys. It's to assist you and make you guys money. Who cares what I have and what I drive? It's all about you guys. Make all the money you need, and then you can live the life you want to live. That's really it. ES shows signs of not stopping. Yeah. Yeah, man. Let's take a look at that on a longer term basis. Look at the 4 hour chart. And I drew a couple of lines. I know, in the lines. It's kind of a trend line higher. Are we going to break that? Let's extend it. Extend to the right. Oops. Let's do this right here so I don't extend to the right. There you go. So your next trend line in terms of resistance, 5133. Big term, staying in that channel, very similar to NASDAQ, is 5200. 5200 was pretty much my end of year target on the S&P, and we're 90 points away. Holy crap. Well, that's a bull market for you. That's what happens. What are your thoughts on Lunar? We got our moon landing yesterday. Well, is that the first time we landed on the moon? I'm kidding. Of course, it's not the first time. But I don't know. I can't say really one way or another. If is that their company just landing on planets? I haven't done my research on it, Jeff, to be honest. So short term, double top at 14. Break above 14. Yeah, I guess this thing can moon. Maybe. I don't know. This gives me a lot of that Virgin Galactic vibes, space SPCE. And we traded that. And then when I sold it, everyone was upset at me. I made 20% on it. Let's just go back in time for a little bit. Yeah, it's $1.67. It's good times we had at 57. I'll tell you that much. Let's take a look at Starbucks. Starbucks price action has been trashed since 2023. That's all it is. And the problem is because they have China exposure, and they depend a lot of their revenue, well, not all the revenue, but a lot of it on China. So the more China headlines they have out there, Starbucks and Nike, they're very exposed to China for revenue. That's kind of the problem. And listen, I love Starbucks. I am a Starbucks head. I love going there to order my drink once in a while when I go. But the stock is pretty much dead money. I'm going to be honest. If you're trying to, make some dividend, there's so many better options out there than Starbucks. If you're just that person that says, I want to own things that I like, yeah, then right now the price, you're right in the middle. You haven't done much since really 2023. What, between 94 and 100? Like, that's not exactly, exciting, let's just say. So I don't know if they're going to increase their dividend or anything special to entice investors, but I just think there's better options out there than Starbucks. That's all. Thoughts on Ether hitting 10K this cycle? Well, that would be nice. I think we just need to sustain above 3,000 first and use that as our support. And if we do, you're kind of looking at that $1,000 rule. Like every $1,000 is where you kind of have a big marker. We kind of have that with Bitcoin now. Every time we hit 53, 54, remember that countdown when it hit 69,000? Kind of that same slow pace. 10,000 Ethereum, man, I'm assuming we're going to have an ETF then. If that's the case, if that happens, sure. I would say, I don't know what kind of cycle we're talking, how long, but by the end of the year, yeah, Bitcoin, Ethereum could get to 4, if anything, but I don't know about 10. I'm hoping so. That'd be nice. Apple, I still want to short. I know. And a part of me just like, haven't you learned your lesson? Actually, technically speaking, Apple might be a long. God, man, how things change so quickly. And I hate it, guys. But sometimes the facts change and NVIDIA saves the world. We're now above the 200-day, guys. I mean, that's the same place we've been bouncing from. Apple might be a buy here. And again, you just target 200. I feel kind of bad because, yeah, we did hit Apple puts this week. But I really thought we would get that pullback and we would take advantage. And we kind of did. But, well, we'll see if Apple does move higher. In order to get there, we need to get above 186 or so, maybe 187. But still, the downward trend is there. It's just that we're above the 200-day, and that's something that's concerning. Let's go to DraftKings. They were price upgraded today by Baird. That's why they're up. 42.05. I'm just thinking that we're going to get above 45. Remember, seasonal track record for DraftKings in February is perfect. They've never lost money or lost value in the month of February, historically speaking. You're right, going to be back above the 20-day. I think we get above 45. rather quickly. And once we do, $49.64, $50 is the target. And that's it. That's what I'm looking at DraftKings. Maybe if we get above the recent highs, we can always play the 50s, and we'll go from there. All right, guys. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great rest of your morning. Enjoy your Friday. Make sure to subscribe to our channel because we got a couple of good things coming. We got the video for the week. Make sure to go on the blog. We'll have the watch list for the weekend. And then I'll do a podcast as well. I'll share that on the blog. And you guys can be a subscriber on Spotify. It's free. It's just free content for y'all. Have a great rest of your morning. I will see you guys then for the weekly video. Cheers.